Okay, I am the back. Alright, let's do this. More history, more stuff. Here we go. An early sketch of what became Dalsum's stage, the elephant trunks in the final game animate, but this design calls for their legs to move as well. Note that Dalsum himself was not fully formed yet. The sketch here is an early concept for him, called Nardada, which he would have been a god, which the elephant in the background kind of basically, which they actually got rid of in later versions of the game. This was a fucking callback to what Dalsum was supposed to be in the original concept, which he was supposed to be a Hindi god. Which would have been interesting. They never added a god in Street Fighter except for Guile. The closest god they got was Guile. In Guile's early appearance in Street Fighter V Championship Edition, Guile has only been in like 4 games, if I can count, and like some spin-offs, I believe. But that's only it, or some cameos, but that's only it. Guile has less appearances, and I hope in Street Fighter 6, Guile has a more important role. Or Urien does, I don't know. They might make a new villain, who fucking knows, in Street Fighter 6. I think they're just waiting, because we are getting the last DLC characters, and I believe they're going to start Street Fighter 6 or something new. Hopefully we get a new Darkstalkers games, because there's still a fuck ton of monsters they can go from. So many monsters! They haven't done a Medusa character yet. They haven't made a god, which a god would have been interesting. If they had a god character, or an angel in Darkstalkers, dude, sign me the fuck up. Balrog's Las Vegas stage, looking very similar to its appearance in the final game. Yes, it does, except they don't have the sexy gal, which they do in the down there, but yeah, that looks very close to his final stage version. That looks pretty sick. Zangief's stage, the abandoned Soviet factory. In this version, the sign in the background reads, "Work, work." In the final game, this was changed to on-looking prohibited. This stage would have actually inspired the Alpha 2 stage of fucking Zangief's stage, which I like when they go back to older designs and apply it to other games later in the series, or other people try to apply concepts of other people's work and make it their own, which is pretty fucking cool. That's how you know when Street Fighter is so fucking influential, when other people use their concepts before then, like Clay Fighter and other games too. That just how you know that everybody and their moms played Street Fighter, except for me, because I was little and I never got to play it until I was 15 years old. I know I'm late to the party, sorry guys. A later drawing from Zangief's stage, this was likely used as a basis for the final version, which you see the guy drinking, you see some guys there, the factory thing, the ironwork, which does show up in the final version. A rough sketch of Ken's stage. The foreign chains were removed because they covered up the characters. They were actually still in the game, but you can never see them. They were moved behind the water, making them visible to players. Interesting! So they still kept the chains. That's very interesting. What you see here, well, there might have been an extra sailboat in the background, but they got rid of it. And there's the crates stayed there. The boat's still the same. And in order for the animators to have enough time to finish their work, the final designs of the 8 fighters, though not necessarily their names or backstories, were submitted at this point. The following images show the final approved art, the names and info of the characters and concept. Ryu, E Honda, Blanca, Guile, Ken, Chun-Li, Zangief, and Dalsum, which it's actually their original fucking stances of where they are. That's pretty awesome. Ryu, attack 3, defense 3, stamina 3, speed 3. Should be the most standard playable fighter. Ken, attack 3, defense 3, stamina 3, speed 3. Should have the most exact same abilities as Ryu for players who want to fight each other on even terms. Sumo, attack 4, defense 4, stamina 3, speed 2. Should seem excessively Japanese so that overseas players understand. Chinese Girl, attack 3, defense 3, stamina 3, speed 5. A fighter with weak offense, but overwhelming speed, which that is true. Beastman. Beastman. Attack 4, defense 3, stamina 3, speed 4. It has the senses of a wild animal. Emphasis is on speed, with attack power to match. Oh, fucking... They kept this name? Fuck's sakes. I can't say this without sounding racist. Vodka Govalaski. Attack 5, defense 4, stamina 4, speed 2. Should be a fighter who relies on brute strength. Major Guile. They didn't call him Guile, but Major Guile. Attack 3, defense 3, stamina 3, speed 3. Intended as a normal fighter for Americans to use. Literally, Guile was made for Americans. Literally for Americans. That's the reason why Guile existed. It was like Joe. He was the American Joe. It's the whole point. I'm not serious. And now he's the most famous. You know why he's famous? Not famous for just being Guile. He's famous for his fucking theme music. Video game creators have no idea what they make until they realize later, like, holy fuck, we've made all this shit, like, influential. Also, Guile is the reason why he got his haircut from John Polnareff, from JoJo. If you didn't know that. Indian. Attack 2, defense 4, stamina 3, speed 1. Should be a strange fighter with a large variety of techniques. Interesting. So he's just called Indian. Alright, Dawson. Once the character bios were set in stone, work began on rough sketches for actual game development purposes. Details about the different stages, endings, and other aspects came together at some point to form Street Fighter II Blueprint. Getting it completely implemented was all that remained. With character personalities and fighting styles firmly in place, animators could begin the rough drafts of what their moves may look like. Even in simple form, Zangief's moves are clearly those of a professional wrestler. Movement concepts for Bison, which are fairly accurate to what he acts like. Fucking Bison, you dick. Rough layouts of the Shoryuken Doken animations, as used both Ken and Ryu, worked on a graph paper, helped the artist to approximate how many pixels each animation frame would use on the screen. Using these rough layouts as a guide, animators then drew detailed animation frames on paper, which were then scanned and used as a basis of the actual pixel art in the game. Pretty fucking cool if you show this shit to younger kids. If your kids are like older, you turned 14 or 13 now, you're seeing this shit for the first time, then congratulations, you're seeing some cool fucking shit, my dudes. Have you clearly see the evolution of the Shoryuken animation cycle from the rough to final? The sprites remained faithfully to the scanned artwork. Through some last-minute tweaks, made the final frames more dynamic. Which that's pretty fucking cool. Guile's Sonic Boom, which looks pretty fucking sick on paper. Of course, Chun-Li's forward jump animation, one of these frames was cut from the final game to save memory. Can you find it? I believe it was that one. The one showing the panties. I believe that was that one. Zangief's defeated animation, which looks close to the game. Rarely seen concepts of the Street Fighter II logo. It's hard to imagine the game with an actual 2 instead of the Roman numeral equivalent. Yeah, that would have been weird as hell. But they try to do it too. As well, but they use Roman numerals. Just makes sense. A paper sketch of the game's demo mode animation, which is the intro. Which is a guy just punching a black dude. Which we all see in the ending. Here's a rough sketch of Guile's ending. As you can see, it is very close to what happens in the final version. Not close, but sort of. Yes, this is Guile's ending. If I can, like, zoom in with the R button. I go to here. This is what you guys would have saw if I didn't get my ass kicked by Bison. Basically, that's Guile beating him. His wife and his daughter try to tell Guile to go home because, if you didn't know, Guile literally left his house. He never returned home because he was going to revenge his friend named Charlie, which you will see in a future game, which Bison did kill. And you see him in his living room, like, what's wrong, honey? Oh, nothing. Just him being a family man, which that's pretty fucking cool. Alright, this is going on for, like, way fucking longer than I expected. More shit. Later, guys.